Well, hello everyone, and welcome back. I am in a much better mood today than I was the last time we spoke after that dud of a market. So I have some makes. Y'all are gonna love this. I don't think I've been very productive this week. Well, I have and I haven't, because I've had my mind on other things. So after I took my nap on Sunday, I decided to make a turtle because I like making turtles and they're fun and I enjoy it. So I broke out the whimsical something or other from Hobby Lobby and the light purple from Sweet Snuggles Light and made this turtle. And of course, this turtle is all from Jade Pattern, but I love the colors of this. And it works so well with the loops and threads, Sweet Snuggles, and probably the Home Slim as well. I don't have a color of this whimsical whatever it's called. Okay, well, I lied. It's not whimsical anything. It's Cozy with a Twist from Yarn Bee. I had picked some of these up the last time I was in Hobby Lobby. So the Cozy with a Twist goes real well with the Michaels, Sweet Snuggles Light, and the Home Slim. And it makes just a gorgeous turtle. The last one I had like this sold at, not my last market, but the market before. So then I was like, well, I didn't really sell anything last time, so I don't have a whole lot of market prep to do. So I can play with trying to perfect my possum pattern, which it has now been tested, but it's not up yet. It's not listed yet because I want to have a bonus pattern that goes along with it. The possum will be the pattern that I give away the Minion pattern with. So if you buy the possum pattern from me on Etsy, you will also get the Minion pattern for free, which is in the process of being tested now. So within the next day or so, I would say those will be up and ready. So I made some possums. So this is a possum using the plush yarn on the nose. I gave him pink feet because somebody commented about how real possums have pink feet. Well, I pulled up a picture and I'll put it up here somewhere on one of these sides. They don't really have pink feet, but they have like pink fingers on their feet or toes, whatever you want to call them. So they're black. So in the pattern, it tells you it's your choice. You could use pink or black, but I thought the pink looked kind of cute for the feet. I changed the way I was doing the tail, and I like that much better. So I think that I did pretty good with this. So this one was the first one, and this one I actually made a mistake with because I forgot to put the backs on the eyes. I was so worried about getting the ears lined up right that I forgot to snap the backs on the eyes. So this one will stay with me. And then this one was the next one. And I can tell because I was making changes as I went along. So this one I used acrylic yarn for the nose. He has a little smile under there. Again, gave him pink feet and that style tail. So there's that one. So the third one that I did was also another change. I changed how I did the ear because to me, this just looked like a circle on the top of his head. So I changed the way the ear was done. Just a little, but it made the shape different. And to me, it looked like a more realistic ear. So this one also got acrylic yarn for the nose. You got a little smile, pink feet, and the new style tail. which is not stuffed, so you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. But he's cute. And I would say in my area, this little guy would probably fall into a $10 to $12 price range because it's way bigger than that free pattern that I was using off of Instagram. And he's got so much more face and a longer snout, nose, whatever you want to call it. But he's so cute. So I did those, and that pattern has been tested. But like I said, we're waiting on the Minions. So out of all these plushies that I've made, the one thing I haven't made is a teddy bear. Unless, of course, you count my failed panda that didn't work too good. But a while back, I had found this pattern, and it's on a blog. I can link it below. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the pattern. But it's one that was written for acrylic yarn. But I have taken many, many, many acrylic yarn patterns and done them in the plush yarn, and most of them work out just fine. Now, you never know how big the size is going to be, but sometimes it can come out decent, and sometimes it can come out really huge. So I decided I was going to make this bear. Now, this bear originally is supposed to be a polar bear. But in case it was one of those patterns that didn't work out real well, I didn't want to waste my white, and I finally got some good white. So I really didn't want to waste it. So we did the bear in teddy bear. And here he is. He is just adorable. Now, the only thing that I did not put on him that should be on him is he's supposed to be lugging around a fishing pole. And with a little fish hanging off the fishing pole, because he has this little basket here and this little blue thing sticking out. That's a fish tail. So he is done in the teddy bear color. His hat is done in emerald green. The pattern said to use a hunter green. I use what I have. And the scarf, mustard, but I did use a mustard color. And then the bag was supposed to be like a brown, but because he was himself was brown, I used different colors. So I used linen, and I forget what color brown the strap is, and then of course that light blue for the fish. But I think he turned out really good. So I have to tell you, I showed this to John. And what do you think he said this looks like? That man said this looked like a fox. A fox. I'm like, dude, foxes have white bellies. They have white on their faces. They have big bushy tails. This doesn't even look like a fox. This is all around a teddy bear. I think I'm going to have to take that man and get him tested. But the little bag opens. It's got the little latch here. And you could maybe fit one more fish in it. But I think it turned out pretty darn good. Turned out way better than my polar bear did. Or panda bear, not polar bear. Panda bear. So I did that. And then I showed you guys the baby squids. From... Oh, I'm not going to say the name because I'm going to get it wrong. But it came with a mama squid and a baby squid. So I decided I was going to make the mama squid. And it turned out really good. But it didn't survive long. This morning, I didn't have the door pulled shut all the way. And I went in to take a shower. And by the time I got back out, Toby had gotten a hold of the squid. Now, he didn't tear it apart, but he got it dirty, and I tried to spot clean it, and it did not work. But I'm going to show you the squid anyways, because it really was cute. Notice I said was. And I'll have to make another one. But this one's trash. Because Toby just cannot behave himself. So, this is the mama squid. And if you see, this one leg is longer than this one, because this is the leg that Toby decided to grab onto and drag it around with. And I don't know if in this poor lighting, if you can see how dirty it is. And there's a spot right here that he got dirty from where, you know, he's dragging and pulling. So I'm going to have to remake another one. But it's a fairly quick, easy, simple pattern. With the exception that I used the toucan yarn on this because I got to use it up, right? It took almost the full thing of the toucan. I mean, there was some left, but it took quite a bit. And I'm just so upset with him. But it's my fault, I guess, because I didn't have the door didn't latch when I closed it. So I have one ruined squid. He's such a bad kitty at times and so cute and lovable at other times. So then, somewhere in between, I made a Minion. And by this point, I thought I just about had the pattern figured out the way I wanted it. Until I made one of All From Jade's ladybugs and learned that new color change technique. And I was like, oh, game changer, back to the drawing board. So I think I showed you guys this one because I did the acrylic yarn for the eye. Maybe not. I don't remember. But anyways, so I went back to the drawing board. And yesterday, now of course, I don't have any good yellow. So I had to use the yellow from the toucan yarn, which I am really disappointed with. I used it the first time and it wasn't that bad, but the more I've used it, the more I dislike it. So I went back to the drawing board and look at how nice and smooth my color change is for between the pants and the body. And he's got two big eyes. And I did acrylic on the eyes. I like how the acrylic, it looks so much nicer. So I did that one yesterday. So then I was like, all proud of myself. And I was like, I got that nice squid done. And did a Minion. And worked on finalizing the Opossum pattern. Worked on trying to get the Minion pattern straight. And I was like, I need a break away from all that kind of thinking. And I said, let me make another plushie. So I started it last night. And then it got to be late. And I said, okay, I'm done. Now for those, I was smart enough to, my pieces that I had already made, I tucked away in the drawer. The squid was laying on top of the desk with a couple of the Minions and the possum. I really didn't think he'd try to run off with a big plushie like that. But for whatever reason, maybe it's the color, I don't know. Could be all them dangly legs, but for whatever reason, he went after that squid. So anyhow, I made the legs, I made wings, I got part of the head done. I tucked it away for the night. And this morning I thought to myself, well, I'm going to finish it off because I can't do anything until my toner is delivered. And I can't make buttons because I need the blue toner. I was out. My stuff wouldn't print right. So I finished up this flamingo. and it is Crochet Grove. It's a Crochet Grove pattern. And you look at the shape. It's so funny. When I started making it, you know, I did the legs. Okay, that's normal. Did the wings. And then when it has you start on the head, I thought, is this supposed to be no-sew? How on earth is this going to go together? Because I did the head until a part where it tells you to stop and you're cutting the yarn. And I just couldn't figure out how it would go together. And I was starting to doubt myself. I was thinking, I'm doing something wrong. But then I'm like, no, let's just trust the process, work our way through it, and see what happens. And this is what happens. You get this little flamingo. Now it's it's stuffed really well. And I do think that's the shape that it's supposed to be. It's going to be front heavy for sure. It's going to fall forward. But when I stuff pretty firmly. I really don't think I could have gotten much more into it, you know, to add some weight to the back unless you put something in it to weight it down. But it's a pretty bird. And then this pattern comes with a swan. But she's running a deal. If you buy 5 patterns, you get 25% off. So I looked through her stuff, and I bought 5 patterns, but this is the only one that I've done so far. You'll just have to wait to find out what the other ones are. So then today, I finished up that flamingo, found my squid ruined, and stewed on that for a while. And I went back to work on the Minion pattern. So again, my yellow is on order, so I don't have a good yellow to work with. So I wanted to do a 2-eyed minion and a 1-eyed minion, a short one and a tall one. And I was trying to figure out how to word it in the pattern so that it wouldn't have to be 2 separate patterns between short and tall. So I thought I was making a tall one. It ended up being a short one. But looking at it, I can see where I messed up. And then, of course, I'm using 2 different yarn types on the 2 different minions here. So got to take that into consideration too. So this one, I think I did this yesterday. I'm so confused in my days. I'm pretty sure I did this yesterday. But this one is with the toucan for the yellow, parfait for the blue and the black, and then Premier Basics for the worsted weight yarn. So I got the 2-eyed. And then today I did the 1-eye. And this one, you can see the difference in the yellow colors. This one I used my Big Twist Posh yellow, which is just a little bit thinner. And even though this has the extra rounds in it, or round, I think I missed one. But I was going for the tall. He still ended up about the same. And you can look even at the head and see that there are more rounds in the head, the top of the head above the thingy, the eyeball. There's more rounds there. But it's just because this crochets up smaller than this does. So it wasn't a good comparison. But it's being tested. It's being looked over to make sure my instructions are right. And I give this one a tiny pupil. This one has 2 big pupils. So I think that the size of the safety eye can like really change the facial expression. So this week it was 3 minions that got made. This guy is a happy looking guy. But that is all I have been up to. Like I said, not much. Not much. Because The 3 possums and the 3 minions were to work on patterns. And then I only made 4 things. And 1 is ruined. So it can't count now. Okay, so in a couple of videos ago, I showed you this dragon that I did as a test. And she has Shannon Snuggle Beans with an S, crochet, all one word, on Instagram and on Etsy. She has her pattern is up now. And she just showed this really cool one on Instagram where she made it like a watermelon. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. And I think she's giving away a free modification for that, for this, in the watermelon, because you do the spikes on the tails different. Over on Instagram, she has the free modification for it. But it doesn't do you any good unless you have the actual pattern. So that pattern is available. This pattern will be available soon as this pattern is complete. So you get this as a freebie with it. And yeah, that's all I have.